We're here at Columbus Metro Fitness, and we're hitting bis and tris. As you can see, this is my training partner with me in the video, Mike Taylor. He actually lives just a few miles from me. We live in Winchester, Kentucky. Mike did his first show this past year and won the Tricky Jackson Classic, Novice and Open overall. I prepped him for that, and he's getting ready for Masters Nationals coming up here this summer. You can see this video was we push things as hard as we can. You know, having a partner really makes things different. We started out with some machine preacher curls, almost like the handle is kind of like an easy bar handle, which, you know, takes a lot of pressure off our wrist. And we did like 3 variations on this for each set. We did 3 sets. The first one, I was curling the weight up relatively easily, and having a partner around, I was having him push down on it, making the negative much harder. And then on the second set, you know, I didn't have him do that. Instead, whenever we failed, we would help each other get a few extra reps and a little more squeeze on the bicep at the top. And then on the last set, just to really smoke them, we only loaded the machine with 25s. That way we could strip off a 25 each time, and it was a big difference. And we did a drop set with it. From there, we did a one-arm cable curl, which the way I like to do these, I've had some bicep tendonitis before, and this movement is something that it gets it really good and warmed up, and I don't really feel any pain with it. I feel like I get a lot more squeeze, almost like I'm doing a most muscular pose. I get a really good squeeze in that bicep, so I really like doing this movement. Doing them one arm at a time, just mainly focusing on the form, pumping as much blood into the arm as possible. You know, there's really not a whole lot special about this. We just did 3 regular sets and moved on. The last thing that we did for biceps, we did a barbell curl, and if you'll notice my grip each time on this, I started out with a different grip so that it's hitting the bicep from a little different angle. And then just to cap it off, we finished with some rope cable curls. We supersetted these 2. Putting these 2 together, I mean, this actually kind of tags in on the forearm, and sometimes, like you'll notice in the video with my sets, that I would have my hands close together doing the cable curl, and then I would have them as if I'm doing a wide grip curl, again, to hit the bicep from a slightly different angle. You know, I think my arms is probably one of my stronger assets on my body, and I think doing stuff like this, keeping variation into it, because I haven't always had the best arms, and now that my arms and shoulders have came up a lot, and I've actually lightened the weight over the years of training, and I do less weight now than I did 3 or 4 years ago, but my arms are significantly bigger, and I think just the variation and the form and learning how to really squeeze the muscle has made this improvement in them. See, we moved on to some triceps now, and like a lot of pros out now, most people that's been training for a while, you know, we make sure that we warm our elbows up real good with like a cable movement. I mean, I don't feel that it's good to start out with, you know, a close grip bench press or a skull crusher. You know, I can really feel that just doesn't go too well with me. So when I do a cable, whether it be a rope or a regular, just any attachment to it, I don't feel any pressure. I feel it puts a lot of blood in the elbows. It doesn't really strain the tendons any. So we just did a one-arm rope push down, and I'm turning my hand if I use one arm at a time, I feel like I can twist my hand as much as possible, which gives a little bit more squeeze into the tricep, putting a little bit more into that horseshoe and really making that outer head work more. And if you use both hands with the rope, it's like I can't really get my hands to twist out as much. So I feel like I can isolate a little more doing one at a time. So we got our elbows good and warmed up, got some blood flow to the triceps going on, and then we actually moved into some heavy stuff. We did some overhead dumbbell extensions. And the first couple sets that we did was just, you know, straight sets. You know, I went up to 150-pound dumbbells, which I probably could have went a little heavier on those, but here we're at Metro Fitness, and the 150s is all I have. Normally, I would end up doing a barbell just so I could get a little more weight on this, but I was, okay, just to be quite honest, I was a little bit lazy and didn't want to load the barbell up, so the dumbbell was the choice today. So to push out a few extra, I had my training partner, Mike. He pushed me out, gave me a few extra forced reps on that. And then to fairly finish off the triceps, We did a machine dip and we supersetted it with a push down, except on this push down, we used the typical handle that you would use on a low row, and your palms are facing outward, which is again going to hit that from the front. Standing from the front, it's going to hit like the outer head of the tricep, making it stand out a lot more. And I like to use this as a superset because if you try to use a lot of weight with it, you're going to end up hurting your wrist. So by doing the dips first and really burning the tricep out and coming over and finishing with this, it's a lot different feel. You know, it feels a lot better. It's easy on the wrist, and it really works the arm really well. And this off season, we did a little bit of calf work at the end. I have been doing calves every other day now, and I find that the frequency of this has really helped and improved them because calves has been a very weak area for me. I mean, they're not insanely weak, but you know, I'm kind of obsessed with calves. I want them to grow. You know, I want to have some Eric Fankhauser calves one day.